So I've got a major flaw that I've noticed myself having for quite some time ago, actually. So I've known about this flaw for a long time, but I haven't really corrected it until right now, because right now I'm fed up with this flaw. And I'm going to tell you what this flaw is. It's the fact that I get complacent when things are going well for me. So when I win, when things are going well, when I make money and everything is going as I want it to go, and I see results from my actions, I start to slow down. I lift up my foot off the gas and I get complacent. And I think, oh, because it's going well right now, I've kind of made it, right? Well, not made it, but I get comfortable. I get way too comfortable and way too complacent, and I start to drop down on my intensity. So, for that reason, I hate winning because every time things are going well for me, I tend to slow down. I tend to kind of take a step back. When in reality, I need to ride that wave of momentum and go even harder. Not slow down, but go even harder when things are going well. That is my main fundamental flaw that I have right now. That I've noticed when things are going well, I get complacent and I slow down. However, when things are going poorly for me, I change my entire self. Like I go absolutely batshit crazy in everything. I go super hard, balls deep into everything that I do. I waste no time. I go full monk mode. I'm very disciplined. I do what I need to do. I don't care about how I feel. But I need that same mentality for when I'm doing well as well. Because for me, at least, it's very easy to be driven and hungry when things are not going that well. It's very easy for me to be that when things are going not as well as I want to. Because then you have a reason to work harder, to make sure it goes as good as you want it to go. But as soon as I get those results, that's when I slow down. And if anyone watching this can relate to this, you have to make a pledge to yourself and understand that every time you're doing well, that is not the time to slow down and take a rest and take a chill pill. That is the time to double down. Because now you have momentum. You have to ride the wave of that momentum. Ride it. Do not slow down. It's easy to give it everything when things are going poorly because now you have a reason to work harder to get to a point where you're at least mildly satisfied or somewhat satisfied. However, when things are going well, that's when we get complacent and cocky. We get arrogant. We think we have it figured out. We think we can slow down. That is not the time to slow down. That is a fundamental flaw I have within myself, and I will not allow myself to fall for that flaw again because I know how bad it is for me, how much of a fundamental flaw it is in my mindset and mentality. That every time I do well, I kind of slow down and I always lose that momentum. Momentum is everything. If you have momentum, it's very easy to keep getting good results. But if you throw away that momentum, now you're at a point where, you're screwed. You have to build up that momentum again. And building up momentum from scratch each and every single time you lose it, then it's just harder. It's just more work put into it. Instead of just riding the wave of momentum, it's much easier. You have momentum, now you're just riding it. And it's easier to generate new results and better results. So that is a flaw that I have. And if anyone watching this, if you have the same flaw, fight against that flaw and make sure that you do not fall for it any longer. And understand how significant it can be to your progress not understanding this. Because I think I've left a lot of money and a lot of results and a lot of progress on the table by constantly falling for this. So be hungry, be driven even when you're winning. That is the hardest part. That's when most people slow down. It's easy to go all out when you are the underdog. When you're the underdog of your own story and you still haven't achieved those great things, it's easy to go hard then. But it's even harder, it's much harder to go hard and give it everything when things are going well. That's the hard part. That's where most people fail. That's where I have failed. But the key is to be self aware of your flaws and your failures. Understand what kind of person you are and what you're struggling with. Understand your flaws and your downfalls as a person so you can correct them. That's the only way you can move forward. And if this hits home, please don't be like me. Change for the better. And I'm going to. I've made a pledge to myself and a promise to myself that when things are going well, I'm going to go just as hard or even harder than I do when things are going poorly. Right now, I'm at a point where I don't have the momentum. I could have done more to build up the momentum. I haven't had, like my past few days work wise, haven't been that well. And I'm super dedicated to correct that. But then I'm even more dedicated to ride the wave of momentum once I've corrected that. So if this if this kind of like hits home and aligns with how you are as a person, do not let it continue aligning with how you are as a person. Make sure you correct that. You're going to thank yourself for it. Always work hard. Whether you're doing poorly or whether you're winning, always go hard at what you're doing. Do not let the momentum drop. And I promise you, everything will change for you. But that's all I have for you guys today. And as always, I'll see you next time. Cheers.